Hey, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Godox Photo Lighting Solutions. Back in 2010, when I was working mainly in photography and graphic design, I was actually a Nikon shooter myself. You may wonder why I'm telling you this. To give you some context on how I ended up working mainly in video production. I think it was a natural progression, and I can see the benefits of training in graphic design, then in photography, and ultimately in video production. Sadly, when video production became my main source of income, I actually just got rid of all my photo equipment, as I was not using the equipment that much. Flash forward 5 or so years, in December 2019, I actually decided to buy a DSLR. Without making a commitment of doing more photography professionally, just for me to be able to create content for my YouTube channel, my Instagram account, and my personal brand in general. I ended up getting a Canon 6D Mark II just because all the lenses I already own for video production are all Canon mounts, so it just makes sense to get a Canon DSLR. I have been looking to create more complex photos with cooler and more controllable setups. So for a few months I was researching what speedlight system would allow me to create better imagery without breaking the bank. Let's go back to when I actually made my income from photography. Back in the day I had a pair of SB900s, that's Nikon's flagship speedlights, and I controlled those lights remotely with the Pocket Wizard's Flex TT5 and the AC controller. This setup allowed me to do high-speed sync photography, control the flashes from a distance, and all the fancy stuff, but this setup was around 1,500 euros. So for my new setup, I wanted to have the same functionality that the SB900s paired with the Flex TT5 gave me, but at a more affordable price point. So when looking for my ideal kit, my requirements were: the speedlights needed to be powerful, they needed to have wireless communication, they needed to be TTL and also manual, they needed to be well built and reasonably priced. We have all owned a cheap flash. In fact, I think that's the first flash that everybody doing photography should own. On Amazon or eBay, you can find a cheap manual flash for around 50 euros. These manual flashes will allow you to understand the principles of flash photography, and if it's something you want to further develop, then you can go and purchase a better flash unit. In my opinion, there's no point in having a 5,000 euro DSLR and a 1,000 euro speedlight just to take photos of your dog. Unless you're a dog photographer. That would be like chun 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 chun. I have owned some newer equipment. Newer equipment. They make some seriously cheap equipment for photography and videography. In fact, I still own a couple of the Yongnuo 360 Mark II lights that I use constantly in productions. They are like a cool RGB lightsaber with an internal built-in battery. Great lights. At some point during the search for the perfect speedlights, I came across a company called Godox. This led me to countless hours on YouTube watching tutorials, reviews, and videos about the company. In general, I found that people were talking very highly of this relatively unknown company, in my opinion. They seem to have a very solid system, a nice product range, they had wireless communication, TTL, high-speed sync, the flash units were powerful, and their prices seemed to be reasonable. So I decided to invest my 2 cents in this system. I went ahead and over a period of a couple of months and bought flashes, light modifiers, accessories, and the wireless trigger. My initial thoughts with this kit is that I'm very pleased of the products Godox has created. The build quality is good, the flashes seem to be very powerful, and although I have not had the time to experiment extensively with all the products, I can already see that they're well built, they're powerful, and they're gonna last a good while. The operating system in the flash units and in the radio controller is very easy to understand and to navigate. The wireless protocol lets you control your units from a distance, giving you freedom when composing your shots, without the need to buy extra equipment like the Pocket Wizard's Flex TT5, even if the units are mounted in difficult to reach places. You have full control from the top of your camera if you're using the wireless controller. This speeds up your workflow, allowing you to have multiple light configurations in minutes, and this is a nice feature to have. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I'm writing more content in the individual products like the AD200 or the V860 Mark II and the controller, specifically in how to use the menus and the button layouts, so they might come in handy. I'll be popping the videos in YouTube over the next few days. So if you have any questions or recommendations, leave a comment below and I'll see you next time.